Hello, we are live. Welcome one, welcome all. 345 Berry is here saying, is anyone here yet? I'm here, 345 Berry. So welcome. Welcome Dragon Rose. Hi Helen over in South Africa. I always love seeing your name because it's Helen 74 South Africa. That's all you need to know. Helen from South Africa. So welcome. It's Sunday. I've just literally jumped off a Zoom call with some of my family. We were doing a music quiz, and we're talking. I have a rather special guest today. Dragon Rose is saying technical issues. I hope that's not on my end. Let me just check on the old ooh of the tube and check that I am actually live. But yeah, so I just jumped off a Zoom call because we have a special guest joining today on my YouTube live channel, and I can't wait for you to meet her. You probably saw her gorgeous face on the thumbnail. Oh, hi, here everyone is. Sandra Marshall, hey, Selena Lou Fogg, Shoshana's here, 345 Berry. We've got Annie Brown in the house, Tina Davis. You're not late at all, Tina Davis, so don't apologize. All the way from bloody Sydney, Australia. Well, listen. All the way, Lauren, who I'm about to introduce you, does, I think, a good Australian accent. I think she does, anyway. Although, to be fair, if mine's anything to go by, she'll definitely be an improvement on that. Hey, Angela Thompson. Hey, everyone. So welcome. I want to introduce you to a dear friend of mine. I don't know if any of you know, whether you're watching this live or whether you'll be watching this back, but I have released a new podcast with this person, and we've decided to release them weekly. So we're on episode 2 today. That's come out, but we want to, for YouTube, because you lot are so supportive and so nice, I kind of want to do some extra bits and bobs just for you guys. Okay, so you'll get a bit more of like insight into the podcast. We'll do these lives, we'll do video lives as well, and you'll also have the podcast on YouTube as well. But I'm waffling. Okay, let me bring in the main event, because I couldn't do this podcast on my own. I've got a podcast on my own. I needed equal billing with an equally fab person to host the Fab Life pod, and who could I choose? It's only bloody Lauren. Welcome, Lauren.
G'day, everyone. How you going? You doing all right?
There's the Australian accent.
Love to be an Aussie. Hi, everyone. Nice to be here.
So, Lauren, you have you done much? I don't think. Have you ever been live on YouTube before?
I don't think I've been live. There's probably like maybe images and videos of me from when I was younger dancing and stuff when I'm in the background. So nothing like this. Hi.
Okay, so well, I just want to introduce you a little bit. Lauren is a pin-up model. We met through work. Now you can actually learn about Lauren more in episode 1 of the podcast.
Yeah, go listen.
Some people have already listened to it. If you haven't, it's on my YouTube channel. You can check under the playlist, Fab Life with Lee and Lauren. That's the podcast name. And or it's also on Apple Podcasts, it's on Spotify, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Amazon, it's on Pocket Cast, it's on Stitcher, it's on every bloody podcast provider you can pretty much get. All right. But this is YouTube. I've got some lovely subscribers. Gabrielle, 345 Berry is always here, and apparently your name is actually Lauren. Snap, I never knew that.
Hi, fellow Lauren. It's amazing. Thanks, Chase. I've just figured out how to put the comments on. I'm loving it. So
yeah. You can see the comments there.
Loving it.
Oh, Millie's clarified. The daughter of Sydney. I'm so sorry, Millie. I did not read it right. Where are you in the world, Millie? For a minute, I thought you were over in Sydney. I was like, wow, international audience.
It would be like the middle of the night or something, wouldn't it? But hey, that's commitment to Lee.
Stacey, thank you very much. She says the podcast's amazing. So listen, for those of you who have just joined, this is Lauren, and we have released a weekly podcast that we're actually very excited about, aren't we, Lauren?
We are so excited. It's all we talk about now. We actually don't say, how are you, when we're texting each other. We're like, so yeah, I'm thinking for the next episode, blah, blah, blah. We are fully invested in this Fab Life pod, aren't we?
Yeah, so it's called Fab Life with Lauren and Lee. And the reason we came up with the name is because we have always done this thing where we'll do something and we'll be having a fabulous time and we'll go, hashtag Fab Life. And then we kind of sometimes would use it ironically, wouldn't we? Where we weren't having so much of a fab life, but we'd still go.
Yeah. Fab Life.
Yeah. So then we decided to call it that. And you know, the podcast is kind of, I always want to say if it was going to have a different name, it would be probably called Talking Shit, but in an entertaining way, because we have a theme each week. We will try and stick to the theme, but we often don't. And also we're trying, one of the big things that we're trying to do is to escape Corona. So we don't want the coronavirus to really, now naturally it does pop up, but we're not there going, oh guys, can you see cases are falling or cases are rising?
Yeah. How many times the news every day? You don't need us talking about it when you're trying to go on your walk and like be all jolly, and then we're doom and gloom. I think we touch on it in the intros maybe of both the episodes so far, because you've got to, you know, we've got to talk about what we're up to at the moment. But otherwise, it's all just a barrel of lols and a load of tangents. That's basically what it is.
Yeah. Thank you, 345 Berry Lawrence. Let's talk with Lee and Lauren. Well, no, actually, that's an amalgamation. It's called Fab Life with Lee and Lauren.
That's hybrid.
But Julie's just said, I've just subscribed to it. We'll listen on my walk tomorrow. Yeah, so my friend Craig was like, it's perfect for listening on walks or if you're running, about 40 minutes maximum. But I just wanted to, because I'm releasing them on YouTube as well. So the first episode is out. And after this live, what should happen if YouTube plays ball, what should happen is it will redirect to the second episode, okay? And then that should start playing. So you can go and you can have a watch or have a listen, but it's all audio, so it's not video. So we've decided that we're going to keep the video element to YouTube. We'll pop on now and then. We'll do a bit of, you know how like Britain's Got Talent does Britain's Got More Talent?
The extra bits.
Oh yeah, what's the spin-off show called? What's the Oh my God, Fab Afterlife.
And then we come dressed as corpses.
Yes, I've beat you to it. I've got the makeup. I look haggard today. I look absolutely bloody haggard.
I've just done a full face of makeup because I was up drinking last night. You know, no surprise there. But
Gabrielle says, Lauren, you are very beautiful. She is.
Oh, thanks, Gabrielle. I've got a ring light. Invest in one is my my advice for everyone who's on Zoom a lot. Just really pops the skin, you know, cheeks.
Well,
just put a lot of concealer on that.
We touched on this as well in both episodes, but probably more the second episode. But you've just got married, haven't you? Lauren got married during the global pandemic.
The global P. Is that right? P? Yeah. Penny D. Oh my God, so many letters. Yeah, this is my wedding dress that I got married in is right in there, in that bag there.
Oh my God.
So I'm obviously in my wardrobe kind of thing. Yeah, it was lovely. It's lovely to be married, but it feels no different, unfortunately, because, you know, what we're doing. We're just hanging out in our house, getting drunk at the weekends and eating crisps. Like, that's married life for you, Lee. Nothing changes.
Well, but once we're out of it, we're going to have the biggest party ever, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we're going to drag it out, like every group of mates. And Lee will be at each one. It's just like, oh, I just happened to be here again. Cheers.
I'll be there. I'll be like, it's research, guys, for our podcast. I don't know if you know, we've got one.
I need to be with her. Yeah. Whenever she's drinking, I should be with her.
Stacey, lovely Stacey Randall, said it's amazing, but also she keeps laughing. So the thing is, the podcast is already out actually on some other forms. And this is something that did happen, that I tell a story of when I was at school. And the good thing is, like, we do just chat, and actually we sometimes tell each other stories that we don't know. Oh, what you drinking?
Yeah.
You having a Prosecco?
Well, you know what? We've gone on to Carver actually at the minute because no one can be affording to be drinking Prosecco every night or champers. But this Carver from Tesco, they're just the cheap ones, and they're so dry and lovely. It's a nice change from Prosecco, actually. So cheers, everyone, if you have a bev.
That's a really Fab Life glass.
That was for my 30th, that, off the gals, I think, yeah. All the old housemates, they got me some crystal 2 flutes. Yeah, not 2 soups, 2 flutes.
See, I got for my birthday a couple of the coupes, because I know you like a coupe, don't you, Lauren?
Yeah, we've got loads still from when we did that champagne tower. We had a party where I was like, I'm gonna have a champagne tower, and I learned how to do it, and I got this massive magnum. It was great, wasn't it? Did you witness the pouring, or were you late? No, you witnessed the pouring.
Just as you were doing it, and you were like, "Oh, you're right on time. We're about to pour the champagne tower," and I was like, "Of course you are."
Of course. What else would you be doing? Fab Life. That was a definite hashtag real Fab Life moment there. Our crewing.
Tony is going to look at it later. Thank you. Now, one of the things I do. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Selena. I'm just saying hi to people who are entering. This is Lauren, for anyone who has just joined us, is co-host of the podcast that we both have. We've set up together. One of the things I'm most proud of, and I was wary of saying it too much, but I've been told by so many people now it must be true. I'm really pleased with how it doesn't sound like we're doing it virtually, so you can listen. It's not going to be hard on your ears. We've properly invested into this, haven't we, Lauren?
Yeah, we have. Like the mic, the kit we've got is good, and we do it in non-echoey rooms. Like, luckily this room is quite like snug, so it's good for sound and stuff, and make sure the connection's good and all that jazz. So yeah, I'm really impressed. Like, a couple of my friends have said, "Oh, it sounds really professional, like really clear, and I'm loud. It's great. Well done us."
Yeah, the reason we've done that is because when you add in video and audio, ideally, and I think down the line we'll do more video ones and whatever, but unless you spend a lot of money, because it actually costs to put out a podcast alone, whatever.
Yeah.
So it costs money. So we've obviously invested our own money into it. But the more you want to do, the more expensive it is. So we're just focusing on the audio at the minute. And then we can do things like this on YouTube, where hopefully you lovely people. So these are a lot of my followers are people who have come over from Nadia and Mark's channel. You know, Nadia Suana.
Lovely. Well, yeah. They're mega popular. They're like the king and queen of YouTube, you know. I've got a few mates who've always texted me being like, "Lee's on with Nadia again," and I'm like, "What?" And they're just watching. They're probably in the comments with you guys. So
yeah, very likely. But they're so supportive, and one of the things that I really wanted, if possible, for everyone watching this, whether it be now or whether you're watching this back, is and I've done this so much over the last few days and I sound so beggy, but we would love you to leave a nice review if you can. Now, all I'm going to say is have a listen to the episodes. If you think they are shit, then just don't leave a review, okay? But if you do enjoy them, please do leave a really nice review. And the reason I say that is because before I probably used to be like, "Oh yeah, well, you know what, cream rises to the top, and if they like it, they like it." And now I'm like, no, people have to push it out because of algorithms and everything else. So if you can, I would love you. There's a link in the description of this box to Apple Podcasts. And on Apple, so if you have an iPhone or a Mac or whatever, you can go onto the podcast thing, search Fab Life with Lee and Lauren, and you can leave a 5-star review, but also a written one, which would be really nice. No, Stacey sent me a message the other day and said she did it, but it didn't come up. They take a while, but Stacey's is showing. Stacey's is showing. It's very nice. So if you can, that would be so appreciative, because robots essentially now decide whether a podcast is going to be good or not. I mean, based on algorithms. So it would, I guess it's just given us a little bit of a boost if you are able to do that. But if you think it's rubbish and you don't like it and you can't bring yourself to write that review, then don't worry about it. I'd rather you not leave a 1 star.
Yeah, it's not TripAdvisor.
It's not. And also, like, as a kid, I used to always be that, when you'd rate something out of 10, you'd be like 9 out of 10. And they'd be like, why not 10? And you go, I never give anything 10. And it's like, oh, drop that.
Performer background as well. Performer background. It was always so hard to get anyone's approval, wasn't it? Acting, dance, and all that sort of jazz. So you just weren't used to getting full marks yourself. So giving it to someone else is really difficult. But yeah, 5 out of 5, please, if you can.
I was reading a load of guides on podcasts, and they were like, just get over yourself. Like, don't worry about asking your listeners to support you. And actually, that is something that YouTube has taught me, like, because at first when I started on YouTube, I was like, oh god, it's not great and it's not perfect and this is awful. And actually, loads of people like that. They like to be with you on the start of it and be supportive. And actually, if you just level with them and go, listen, we need your support here, we need you to help, so if you can, that would be great, then they do it.
Definitely. I'm loving this. I love, like, the live feedback. You just don't get this, like, well, with podcasts and obviously on Insta and stuff. It's just different. Love this, that I can see all these lovely people.
Yeah, and what I have planned is, when restrictions are slightly lifted, me and you can do like proper video lives, like a live kind of podcast on video. So what we will do is we will do it live to YouTube. Okay, so everyone on YouTube will see it and hear it first, and then I can rip the audio and put it on the podcast. So that's what we're thinking next time. So we'll do like special kind of anniversary shows or special like live visual shows, maybe once a month, where we're there together sipping kava and gin.
What's in your ginny poops tonight then?
I don't actually know. My dad made this because he was like, do you want a gin before the Zoom? I'm kind of back on the drinking a little bit, and I'm worried that I've fallen off the wagon. Yeah.
You're not. You don't drink in the week that much, do you?
Well, yes.
You know what? Myself, if I don't drink in the week, the weekends are free for all. That's how I operate, as you know. But
yeah, well, the thing is now, there's no weekends. Like, I don't really. I'm like Maggie Smith. What's a weekend? I don't really know. But I don't know. This might be Tanqueray 10 actually. My dad got very excited on offer. It's a good one.
Yeah, your dad's good. He's like Carson. Is he Carson in Thingy? Downton. Jim, sir.
Yeah. Well, when my dad turned 60, we bought him this membership to a gin club. So every month he gets a parcel. You'd love it. And it's a different gin, and it's like the different tonics you can have with it. Really good gift if anyone's thinking of, and you can do it we did it bi-monthly because we didn't want to pay monthly.
How old is he now? 65, and you're still like paying for his gin every month. That's a lot of money.
No. What happened is when he was 60, we did it for the year, and then he loved it so much he decided to carry it on.
Oh, great!
So, yeah.
Good for Carl.
So who's in the chat? Oh, Joe, right. We like Lee's Drunk Lives best. Well, in lockdown 1, I used to get smashed and go on Instagram Live, and I did it the other day.
Yeah, I remember you doing that.
Oh my god, I had so much tequila, and I look back at. Let's briefly, because and I know a lot of people on here have struggled with lockdown and stuff. How have you actually coped with lockdown? Like, how has it been for you? Lockdown 1, 2, and 3.
Do you know what? I think like lockdown 3 is a struggle, isn't it? And I remember speaking to my mum on the phone the other day, and even she was like, I'm struggling in this one. And you know what my mum's like? She's so chill. Like, my mum is a chill person and tough lady, And then, but she was just like, I'm over it. Like, it's just so hard to motivate yourself. I think the first lockdown, it was like, oh my God, I'm going to bake. I'm going to do all these lovely things that I want to learn how to do. I'm going to have lie-ins. I'm going to really rest. And you were so motivated. And then you went through the time where like, we were getting pissed every day. Like, what, you know, start drinking at midday. Great, whatever. And then lockdown 2, it was kind of like, oh, starting to worry about money now. Need a job again. Like, blah, blah, blah. So it was like, you were really concentrating on like trying to keep fit and adapt to that as life. And now it's carried on. I'm over it. I'm so over it. Like, because there's no end. You know, like you don't know when the end is, and you've done all the other stuff. You've learned a language, or I mean, I didn't. You know, you've got really drunk. You've done too much exercise in one stint. So now it's kind of like I'm bored. I'm just so bored. I just want to go to a pub.
And I also think in lockdown 1, everyone was like, we're never going to have this time again. And now we're like, how long are we going to have this time? Like, that's the difference of where I think the first lockdown, everyone saw it as a kind of one-off novelty that we would just do and it would all be fine. But saying that, I am in a good, hopeful mood. I woke up this morning and bless Kay, you know Kay from the show, she often will send like, she's a proper journalist. She'll like send facts and information. And I woke up this morning to a text which was like, good news from Israel. And I was literally like, oh, what's the news? What's the news from Israel? But I was literally so excited. And, you know, it's about the vaccine and stuff. So I really do think that this has to be the last. And it is the last. There's so many comments here. Selena, lockdown seems to be lasting forever. I need to see other people, says Margaret. 3 has been so far the worst. Margaret's struggling. Tina says, I locked this, found it harder. Selena asks, how long have we known each other?
It's quite a long time now, isn't it?
In September this year, or in end of August this year, it will be 9 years.
It's such a long time. I remember when we first became friends, actually, because you know, when you just meet a person and you just like get on like that, and that's what we did, didn't we? And like we'd love it because you were living in Manchester and I was in London, so if we ever got put together, it'd be like amazing. But then people would ask like, how long have you known each other? You know, it must be years. And then you'd look back and it was like 2 years or something. We just like, it was like we'd already, like we're always mates. That's really nice. But everyone always thought we'd known each other much longer. So 9 years is actually a long time.
Yeah, it is. Well, but the thing is, what happened is, so Lauren and I used to work doing promotional marketing. Annie Brown says, did you meet at work? Yeah, we met doing work. So we worked on a PlayStation job, and we had to go around the country. There was like a team of us. We had to go around the country promoting this new PlayStation and these new games. So we'd like, you know, hitch up at a random city, and in shopping centres there'd be a big stand. And if you see a shopping centre, for example, there's always in the middle of it something going on, experiential marketing they call it, and you can go and you can have a play, and then the next week they're gone somewhere else. That's what we did. So it got to a point, and then we did BlackBerry and we did like other jobs as well. But it got to a point where we did that for like a full year. So we would spend probably about 5 days a week together, and not just 5 days a week, but like 14-hour days. And then what we then decided halfway through the tour is we were going to share a hotel room. So we'd work all day and then we'd go back to the hotel room. And there's 2 things that always remind me of Lauren. 1, falling asleep to Family Guy in a hotel.
It's gotta be done.
She'd always put Family Guy on. And 2, no matter what would happen, it doesn't matter what hotel you'd get to. Actually, but most hotels we arrived at, Lauren would get into the room and we'd be like, oh, it's lovely, isn't it? And you'd hear the phone would pick up and Lauren would go, oh, is there any way of getting some fresh milk sent up to the room? And she'd get a jug of milk because you don't like UHT in your tea, do you?
No, and I drink a lot of tea, so as you know. And I'd always make you a brew while you're in the shower in the morning, because you're not mad on tea, are you? But I'd make him one anyway.
And then I remember sometimes, you remember when we stayed in Brands Hatch, the spa hotel?
Oh, we always got the good hotels, didn't we? When it was just like a small group of us. Ooh.
well, you knew it was good as well because, you know, I'd be checking out the bathroom. I'd be like, oh, lovely bathroom. And I'd hear the fridge open and Lauren would go, oh my God, there's fresh milk. And it would already be there. She wouldn't have to ask.
It was so great. I remember once in Newcastle and I did it straight as I went in. And I was like, can I get some fresh milk? Real milk, I said to this lad. And he was a bit like, what? And I was like, you know, for my tea. And he was a bit like confused. I was like, you've got a Costa machine, just get me some milk from it. And he come back out and he had, you know, those big glass water jugs. And he'd filled that half full. He was like, we didn't have any jugs, so I just put it in this. So I basically had like 2 litres. I was like, I just need it for a cup of tea, not my cereal. 3 days.
Massive joke. Yeah, so I think that's why, you know, it's like, you know, when people are in Love Island and they like fall in love with each other or like get so close so quickly, but it is that thing where it's like you're in each other's company for so long, it does accelerate your friendship. Like we were constant, and then actually a lot of the times, you remember, we used to want to go on breaks together. So we'd work together and then be like, we're going on a break, and then we'd go back to our hotel room together and had breakfast together. It was just, we were in
and
each
then we got nights out together as well. We do a 12-hour day, buy a new outfit, and then go out in Manchester or whatever, get in at 2 a.m, wake up and do it all again.
Oh God, do you remember that time in Derby, muffin break?
Oh, not the muffin break. Do you know what? I wish there were more muffin breaks, just on a side note. Them fresh muffs are great.
I'm not so keen on a fresh muff, but that's another story. No, we were, I was severely hungover. And Selena says, proper living in each other's pockets. How cool. I was severely hungover this one time, and we were working on this Sunday. And I remember thinking, I'm going to be sick. I'm actually going to vomit. And I remember like trying to be really professional with this customer. And you were like looking at me like quite concerned, like, are you okay? And I was like, so I was going, yeah. And then all you need to do is just take the phone out of demo mode. And then I went, what I'm going to do actually is I'm just going to pass you over to my friend and colleague Lauren, who's actually just going to deal with you right now. I've just got to go and jump on a conference call, if that's okay. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, thanks. Like literally ran off and had to run into a muffin break. And I just thought, this is not a fab life. It's not a fab life. No.
That is not fab. The night before it was fab life, but not when you're vomiting a muffin break. You had to know the code as well to get in a lot of them.
Oh, I know.
You stuck at the door like.
please. But that was because we got a discount. You remember at Revolution de Cuba, and we said that we were staff, and we got 50% discount.
Yeah, and you didn't stop drinking zombies, which are lethal. You usually ever have one zombies. Disclaimer.
Do you know what? I cannot remember the last time I had a zombie. For everyone watching, a zombie is like, what is in it? Is it rum?
But it's two or three types of rum, I think. So it's like an overproof one, and then like maybe a spice one or something, and juice. And then they light the passion fruit. And then they light the passion fruit on top. And I remember you at the bar, I was like, woo!
Oh, I used to drink them all the time. I actually forgot they existed.
Yeah, they are delish.
Because they'd like, oh, I haven't had one in so long. But you do feel like, they say, yeah, you shouldn't have more than 1 or 2 maximum. And I used to be like, 5th round of zombies, guys.
Oh, God. Also, it was happy hour at the beginning. That's why you were getting them. So I think we all had a couple at the beginning because we were like, woo, make the most of happy hour. And then happy hour ran out and you were just basically spending that day's wage on zombies for the rest of the night.
No, do you not remember? Our friend worked for Revolution de Cuba, and they sent us their pay slip, and as long as, and if you could prove you work there, they give you 50% discount. And do you remember we got 50% off all night, and then something went through the till, and I was like, that actually says that it's £4, not 3. And he was like, are you kidding? You're getting 50% off all night. And I remember he like shamed me, and afterwards I was like, oh yeah, you're right. And then I thought,
you don't even work here. We went on a Christmas party and you weren't there.
Yes, that's how we know each other. And so it's coming up 10 years next year.
We should have a party, any excuse.
Any excuse, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll be allowed a party by then. We've got so much. We've got my 30th to party.
Yeah, still not done that.
Your wedding.
Yeah.
Oh,
What else?
it.
I mean, the panic day.
That was so anticlimactic. I was like, my 30th, your wedding. That's all I had planned, actually.
Yeah. Oh, look, someone's just told us the recipe. Look, rum, golden. It's rum, golden rum, lime, pineapple juice. Is that their name? Raspberry Mojito Girl.
Yes, that's Raspberry Mojito Girl.
Well, she obviously knows a drink.
She does. I love them, raspberry. I think we talk in the second podcast, which for anyone who's just joined, this will redirect to. But what is your favourite cocktail, Lauren?
Oh, yeah. Well, I love a dirty martini, actually, like really strong and short, cold, 3 olives, gin. Just specific there. And what else will I like a gimlet as well, just like lime juice and gin. As you can tell, I like the short, very boozy drinks that you would have drunk in the 50s up at the bar. I love sitting up at the bar as well, and you get your little snacks when you're in a nice bar, don't you? I love that.
Thank you, Stacey Randall. Stacey is so supportive. She sent $5 saying, this is for Scylla. Now, okay, I just want to say something right now. Stacey is a big supporter and she's listened to both of the podcasts so far. Scylla comes up in both of the podcasts, okay? However, in podcast number 2, I might speak a little bit about Scylla, and it's meant with love and affection. I'm just trying to give a balanced view, okay? And I might suggest that Scylla, rumour had it, wasn't always the nicest of people. Okay? Just listen to the podcast to know more. Or actually not no more, because it is literally just a rumor, but I just say it. I say that it's stuff that I've heard. Yeah, well, actually, you know who I heard it from? And we didn't cover this on the podcast, so you're getting this first. Ooh. But I heard it from cabin crew.
Oh, well, they're the people who are going to know, because the people really let the guard down on a flight and they've had a couple of drinks. And Scylla liked to drink, didn't she, as well? She was a partier. That girl.
She absolutely did. So, that's stuff that I've heard on the grapevine, but it's all in the podcast. So when she says this is for Scylla, Margaret's puts who's Scylla? Scylla Black.
Scylla, surprise, Margaret, it's Scylla.
But my friend did text me saying, is this just a Scylla Black fan club? Because you talked about it in episodes, and it's really one of them things where it's like, should we just mention every episode?
Me saying this is the best Scylla tribute podcast I've ever heard. I was like,
well, it can't be much of a tribute when on only episode 2 I go, oh well, I've heard she's a bit of a bitch. Like, it's not really a tribute, is it? I've shat all over it.
She's getting her time, so she clearly means a lot to us,
And you know what? She's a legend. I'll tell you that for sure. She is a legend. There should be a musical based on her,
Is there not? Oh no, she did the TV program.
Yeah. She? Laura says here, Graham, with a quick reminder. Well, if you love all that, okay, so in episode 2, so after this live finishes, it is going to redirect the premiere, and Lauren goes and watches some old Blind Date episodes, and you put forward to me, don't you, some of the questions?
Yeah. Classic questions.
So when they're like, I like melons. If you were a fruit, what would you be? If I was there, I'd be like, I find that really homophobic, but thank you. But they'll ask questions like that. And you put forward the questions to me, didn't you?
Yeah, they're so fun. I could have watched it all night. I had about 6 as well. One thing I didn't say in the podcast as well, and I keep thinking, I wish I'd said that because it's so ridiculous. When she used to interview them after, when they come back from Blackpool or Tenerife or wherever they've been, there's one episode and she uses this phrase a few times and she says, well, did you bone her? She actually says that.
What?
Did you bone her? Yeah, because she'd always want to know, like, if they had sex, whatever. And I think as the series went on, she just got used to just saying, you know, she just didn't want to find a nice way around it. So there's one episode she goes, "Did you bone her?"
How did she get away with that? What did
That's like your gran. That's like your gran asking you that, isn't it? Like, imagine the age gap.
I wouldn't
You'd
know
be
what
like,
to do. What did he say? Did he just like laugh?
well, I think they always just, when she asked him that question anyway, because, you know, she'd always go like, "Did you take it to the next level?" Or, you know, whatever she'd say. They'd just always laugh and go red in their little 90s outfits. They'd be like, "Oh." So it was always obvious that they did it. They're obviously showing a room. Yeah.
Oh, Margaret writes, so Scylla put the accent on. Mm.
Well, do you know who doesn't like Scylla? And don't send him hate mail, is my dad, actually. And he's, because my dad's proper Scouse, he's from the centre of Liverpool. And I think when she got famous, a lot of Scousers went off her.
Oh, well, they do that sometimes, don't they? They're like, "Oh, she's got too big for her boots." Like,
yeah, I think that's quite common, isn't it?
Yeah, they're like waiting for you to become a bit up yourself.
Yeah,
I've had that before. Like when I moved to London, they were like, "Oh, you're gonna go up yourself," and I'm like, "Darling, I've been up myself for the past however many years. If anything, I'm catching up." Like my character.
just putting myself in the correct surroundings for my character.
I know that's a method. So yeah, the episode of the latest podcast is called The Aftermath of Valentine's, and we talk about Lauren being at her first Valentine's Day married. Obviously, I have celebrated Valentine's Day married before, but that was on The Sims 2. I haven't managed to migrate to real life yet, and I was obviously single and alone on Valentine's Day. So we talk about the dynamics of that and what we got up to. Mine was very much thin on the ground. It was actually probably nice this year to be like, "Oh, I didn't do much for Valentine's Day, you know, because of COVID." Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's the same as every year.
Next year you'll be like, "Oh, I didn't do much for Valentine's. I'm still just taking social distancing, you know, like really seriously." So
yeah, exactly. I just think you can never be too careful, especially on V-Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Selena. I was on here. I did a Valentine's Day live. That is very, very true. And then I think I drank myself into oblivion. But yeah, I did a Valentine's Day.
You had loads of Valentines then. You had loads of nice Valentines.
I did. And actually, I talk in the podcast over someone who sent me a card, a mystery Valentine's Day card. So you'll have to tune in to the Poddy D. Oh, Poddy C it should be, shouldn't it?
Poddy C. Yeah. You'll do that next time, don't worry.
But okay, so what I will say is I would love you to show your support. If you can, please leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. You can search the podcast name. It's Fab Life with Lauren and Lee. There is a link in the description below. We would just love it because Apple pushes out content which is getting a lot of traction, especially in its conception. If you can subscribe, that would be amazing. And keep going. What we're going to do as well is we're going to be asking you guys for topics each week because we want different themes. We want to talk about different things, and like we said, we'll try and stay on topic. We don't actually have a topic for
I was going to say this. We need some help.
Yeah, if you want to put it in live chat or the comments below if you're watching this back, then please do suggest a theme or a topic that we talk about, probably steering away from COVID. So, you know, we've had Valentine's aftermath. We've had a welcome. So there's loads of topics that we're going to cover. It's going to be a weekly thing. Stacey, you're too kind. She says it's so funny. It's meant as a bit of an escapism, and it's like being round with your mates, having a chat with a couple of drinks in the pub, whatever. Selena, we generally record it on a Tuesday maybe, but we're open. But any topics that don't get chosen this week, we have like a little master folder. So we'd love you to get involved. We would absolutely love you to leave a review, subscribe. It's on Spotify as well, and I've left a link for the Buzzsprout website. Stacey said it's like being with friends. That's kind of what we wanted it to be, though.
Yeah, defo. And we're going to, like, you know, as it goes on, you're going to get to know us, because we're not ones to keep a secret, are we, Lee? We'll just tell embarrassing stories about ourselves and all that jazz. So, you know, hopefully you'll come along with us and you'll probably feel like you're our friend by the end of it, even if we've not met, because we'll probably tell you some cringy stories. Yeah. Also, Instagram and Twitter. We've got social media as well, so if you want to see what a topic might be, we're trying to post every day. So that's Fab Life Pod as well, all one word.
Yeah, Fab Life Pod. I'll edit that in the description below as well. Fab Life Pod on Instagram and Twitter if you have it. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to say goodbye. I'm going to end this live, and what should happen, all being well, is YouTube. This is a new feature that YouTube are doing. Is YouTube will redirect people to the premiere on YouTube of the Fab Life podcast that's coming up. So fingers crossed that will happen, but if not, it should notify you on there. But I'm pretty sure it will. I'm confident that this feature is going to work. I've never used it before. Joe Wright says Lee and I are like that. He just doesn't know it. Joe Wright often is part of my little gin fan club, because she likes a gin as well, Joe Wright. So yes,
great recommendations off you, Joe.
And Lauren is going to be popping up left, right, and centre on here. I really do. I can't wait for when we're actually together in the same room and we can do like a proper set up live studio and broadcast live. I want to do things for YouTube so that some of the YouTubers get it before the podcast lot. And yeah, but if you want to get it the way, then subscribe on both. You've already subscribed on here. If you're not, then hit the little thumbs up below and subscribe. And if you are, then go and subscribe on our podcast, Fab Life with Lauren and Lee. Lauren, thanks for joining. Laura says, love Lauren. We all love Lauren.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Stacey,
good for you, Stacey. Good for you. Yeah, thanks, everyone. It's been nice to meet you. And I'll be back. If this goes well and it actually works for Lee, this little new techie thing, we'll be back, because this is really fun and you're all so lovely. So nice to meet you all, and thanks.
All right, guys. Hopefully this will move on over to the premiere of episode 2. If not, you'll be able to see it. Take care, and I'll be back doing live soon. And also, Lauren, I'm going to get you on to do a game of Match Me If You Can. I don't think you know this game, but it is addictive.
No, I don't. I know you do it on here. All right, okay. I'll try and practice.
All right. Take care, everyone, and we will see you soon. Bye.